tired of being a good girl. I'm just like, I guess, dude, if that's how you want to take it, I guess, because no, I'd like to be finishing my video and my home and not and thinking about getting a job and shit. Like, that's my point, dude. That's my point. And the point that keeps being brought up the most by everybody and is enraging is that just like stop paying attention to it, or stop letting it be involved in your life or whatever. I would have to sit in my room silently. That's like where we're at. And then that's looking over, like, is there a camera or whatever in there? But that's just a whole little side note. I do want to go work on my video again. I'm definitely not getting through all 4 of these pages at once. I'll show you them though, and I will finish them. Devin is attentive, I'm assuming, because Shay Waves he's posted nothing. I was going to go into a whole thing about how he makes himself seen, but I've spent enough time on Devin. And that was that. Oh, but circling back to Perbaco and whatnot, Bo had the status that was like, I don't think I've ever had a problem in person and blah, 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 blah. True, dude, same. With Triangle Rubber, with Perbaco, and with the Oasis, I had no beef or no drama there with anybody, and overall, the only drama that I've had with anybody is them being involved in this and not telling me the truth. That's the only drama that I've had. That's the only problems with people that I had, and those problems would not have existed. I didn't have problems at the Oasis the first time. I would have had no beef with anybody there the second time. Same with Perbaco. Only 2 other fucking people there worked there. Server-wise, they both liked me. Marissa, my boss, loved me. A good friend of mine had worked there for years and got me in. And with Triangle and Rubber, I was a fucking dumbass who didn't care. Openly. And that's what makes me so mad about the bets that were being... Because like I said, it was so offensively obvious there. It was so offensively obvious there. More so than anywhere else. But the ways that being tested in general. This one time, this happened at Triangle, but this happened at the Oasis too. It was becoming a thing that was weird to me at the time. It was weird how it was playing out, but I didn't understand why until after the fact. But like telling me to sweep the floor in the Oasis just to see how well I can sweep a floor. But the energy that it happened with was so weird that I was like, what? And it's like, I'm not like, what? I don't know. But then at Triangle, somebody just told me to sweep the floor and then hit a pile of stuff. Like, swept up a pile and like hid it somewhere in my area and then told me to sweep the floor. And I told her, I was like, I found this pile of stuff. And she was like, oh, that was a test. And I'm not saying that that's specifically a test for this shit. Although I did catch I caught 4 people there taking pictures of me or things that I did, and didn't address it, and I'm just gonna skip over it. But one of them, the most surprising and the most like, what the fuck, man, and the last one, I've got a couple instances that happened there that I do want to talk in depth about a little bit, but I put a sticker upside down and I caught somebody taking a picture of it, and I asked her, I said, why? And she kept, I don't know what she was saying, but I said, I'm not concerned with the what, I'm concerned with the why. I'm not concerned that you took a picture of it, I'm concerned with why you took a picture of it. And that made it obvious to me that this compilation of like Austin's fuck ups are so petty, and like, I didn't give a fuck about that job. And it's like fundamentally things that I'm not good at. Repetitive fucking like being ADHD and not on Adderall makes that job so difficult for somebody like me. And what's even, this is, it would be brought up, it would, if I fucked up there, it was becoming a thing where and this has become an issue everywhere, but there it was particularly more frustrating because one, Adderall never came up anywhere when it got thrown at me the first time. She said, stop coming to work on Adderall. That's what makes you fuck up. And I was like, hold on, honey bunny. I've never talked to anybody about Adderall here the first time it came up. And then telling me that I fuck up because of Adderall when I'm literally fucking up because I'm ADHD and not on Adderall. So I want that on the fucking record. And I even told her once, I'm like, you just annoyed the fuck out of me. And I think I finally got it. I think I finally made her understand, but the overall vibe there was shifting in a more like, I don't know, there was weird things going on there at the end, which is why I say this isn't the only reason that I left, but it is overwhelmingly the reason that I left. I'm not saying that in a negative context, but it was just offensively obvious there. But that particularly, overall in this experience, and then there specifically, it was so frustrating to tell me that I'm fucking up because I'm on Adderall. When I don't do Adderall there, I do my Adderall on the weekends, and I'm literally fucking up at this job because it's not meant for an ADHD person who's not on Adderall. But then to be told that I'm fucking up because I'm on Adderall when I'm not on Adderall and went there on Adderall maybe twice. And I know I already said this in one of the other videos, and I know I've asked Devin this before, and not only, first of all, like I said, Adderall is not meth, okay? And I don't drink, I don't smoke weed frequently, or excessively, and I'm legitimately fucking ADHD and have been prescribed Adderall since I was 14 years old. I don't know how else to drill that into anybody's head. That I openly abuse it and always have since I first got my hands on it. I will never not be a thing in my life. There are ups and downs with it as far as my abuse levels, but so many things get pinned on that, when completely ignoring that the large portion of those things that get blamed on that are effects of this, not Adderall, but completely looking over the fact that Adderall is a medication that I am prescribed for a fucking chemical imbalance in my brain, and that I'm fucking 27, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8 years, no, 10, 11, 12, 13, wow, 13 years. I'm pretty sure I know what the fuck I'm doing and what the effects are and how to manage them and what my limits are and the effects and the side effects and all of it. I'm pretty sure I know what the fuck I'm doing after 13 fucking years of consistent Adderall usage and abuse. And so much of the shit that gets blamed on Adderall is effects of this shit more than it is fucking Adderall. It's infuriating. That's why I asked Devin this, I'll ask him again. Have you ever even taken a fucking Adderall? I know you're not ADHD, but have you ever even fucking taken an Adderall for all of the shit that you blame on Adderall? And then you can't use Adderall anymore. That's become old and outdated and, defended or whatever. So now it's morphed into heroin and meth, which I understand why people say, I understand that chemically it's like 0.01% meth. Chemically, it's on the drug test that I was taking, they were labeled differently. There was methamphetamines and amphetamines. Adderall is not meth. It is not, because I take Adderall does not mean I smoke meth. And after 13 years of use and abuse, don't you think I would have graduated to meth if that was something that I was interested in? And it infuriates me. The Adderall. It doesn't even really infuriate me because I'm an open Adderall addict and have been since I got my hands on it at 14. Openly. And I've never had the issues that I have now or the issues that are being blamed on Adderall. Those have never existed in my life before in 13 years of fucking use and abuse. Open abuse, knowledgeable abuse. I've researched what Adderall does to you, like when you abuse it. I've researched that, what you need to refuel yourself with and all of that shit. I'm aware that I don't, and then it's become heroin. Heroin has been mentioned to me like 7 fucking times in a month. Heroin, just off the cuff, off the top, heroin. As I told the dude that I hooked up with when he brought it up, I was like, I don't even know what the fuck heroin looks like. And I would not touch it, nor would I touch meth. I would never, ever, ever allow myself to smoke meth. I don't understand, and this is no shade to people who have gotten wrapped up into it and whatever, because I've gotten wrapped up into alcohol a couple times and not understood how it's happened and not really been aware of what was going on with it to the extent that I should have been, to the extent that I am with Adderall. But, I would never, and I've never understood how someone could be like, yo, want to try some meth, and you'd be like, yeah, and then get hooked on it. I would not, I will never be in that position as an Adderall addict. And like I said, don't you think I would have graduated at this point? So that's a fucking thing. But, yeah, the drama at those places was this, man. The drama at those places were this. And we got, talk shit about myself, shit like this. That's the next point, is that it's funny and it's entertaining, and I realize I'm a funny person, especially, like, I get how it could be. So I get how it's so funny to like see me mad and stuff and whatever, but what you don't understand is that I don't get mad. So even me get it, like, it's so out of and I don't do fucking drama. And when I have a problem with somebody, I just I address it. And even if I'm an asshole or whatever, and I think I'm very well tuned on how to effectively, other people may disagree, especially after all of this shit, but I can fairly, like I said, when there's people that I don't like, I can still, split them into two, the parts that I don't like and the parts that I do. It's the same thing with addressing bullshit. It's like, I always, like, I'm fair when I address bullshit, but that's, like, I'm not over-explaining that because that will be over-explaining, but how could it not be with this shit? But I remember, okay, so specifically, this is a perfect example, especially now knowing that she knew. Somebody at Probaco, this is when I cut off Deontay. Or I told him I was going to stop talking to him or whatever, because he had a fucking infiltrated, he made me look stupid sitting there explaining this shit for months and months, just letting me rant and rave and be sad and all that shit. And the whole time he knew about it and had other people in his messages and shit. And then they were fucking arguing with each other in his inbox as him, like everybody else has done. And I'm just like, are you gonna, like, Deontay, what the fuck? And he wasn't receptive, so it's like, I'm never gonna, you fucking, the fuck? But I was messaging him, telling him, like, don't ever talk to me again, on my way to Probaco. I get to Probaco, and this chick had quit. I found out this chick quit. And I texted her, I said, poopy head. And she said, LOL, I can't with the mood swings. And I asked her this directly, because at the time I thought she was talking about Sir Bruno. And she was, or she said she was. But I asked her, is this about me? Are you talking about me? Do you think I have mood swings? Did I have mood swings at Probaco? She said, oh, no. But in reality, what that probably was like, I didn't know that was a problem, that I don't that I can argue with somebody driving into work and then walk into work and engage with people without that, separating that. Cutting off Deontay at the time had nothing to do with Prabaco or her when I texted her poopy head. But her response was, I can't with the mood swings. It's like, if I'm pissed at one person, I'm pissed at one person. I'm not pissed at it doesn't engulf me like that. It's at that person type shit. That's just a good example of like, whatever. I have these, like, I used to do the little squiggly line like my Nana does for whatever, and I have a bunch of those of the things that I was saying out loud while I was writing this list on my phone, or like I was writing it in my notebook, but I had my phone looking at the old list and was talking out loud, and I've obviously become more conscious of the things that I say out loud and whatnot. And one of those is like how funny it is that it's like me and my little notebook talking about our feelings under a tree. That's why I was looking for a tree. But yeah, one of those, and then tree. But the reason that I was taking note of those is because exactly that type of shit. Like, Devin, I can't believe he called the police on me, blah, 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 blah. He's gonna explode, I know it, and blah. I should, because there's no fucking way, like I said, you have to be hacked into my sister's friends' phones, and that's fucking nutty. But the reason over that is you see me, or you hear me like, tree, and you just take it and run with it. But, this is where I got into the old notes. It's like I always scribble. I found so many of them in my notebook where I'm just scribbling this shit that seems so relevant at the time, this shit involved with this. And Bo had a status. I think this is part A. It might be somewhere else. But the note that I'm talking about right now is chemical weapons, World War II, and wife. And this is the first one on the old note. And I saw that and I was like, what the hell was I talking? This is when you recorded me fucking, but I was responding to Colin's status about Daisha's wedding. And it's like, I know chemical weapons is just like, because it's just this mustard gas that fucking, insert smelly joke here, but it's just this fucking mustard gas that just enters the room and fucking people start dropping dead. It's just so annoying. And then I don't know what the hell the World War II in general was about. I don't remember that, but I do remember I put /wife, and that was because the wife of the dude who invented nuclear weapons, they were having like this party, and she went out in the garden and shot herself because she felt so guilty. And I shouldn't have said the guilty part, but it's just like, I don't know why I added that. But somewhere on here, I have, oh, and my sister's computer. That's on the top. My sister got mailed this computer from her aunt or my grandpa, one of the two. Had never been used before, never connected to our Wi-Fi, completely reset, blah, blah, blah. And you motherfuckers got into it. How? I found a status talking about a bedroom in a corner and shit, and then how? That got mailed to her. I mean, what? And I know that person's not involved in setting up my sister. Me, maybe, but no way. How? Like, before it was ever connected to Wi-Fi, before it was even set up, you had access to it. How? Unless you're actively going, I know my sister's not going to Cameroonian profiles and shit. Same thing with my phone that I had for 8 minutes. How did you even know that I had one? And that I got a new phone for you to hack it in 8 minutes. But, see, now we're getting into the old part of the list, and there's way more that I added in there that's not on the old part of the list, but I want to work on my video. But overall, the irrelevantness of some of these older ones is, and this Joshua dude that Parker gave me the name of, yeah, please. Parker and Jessica, or I even said Jessica, but Parker and Caitlin, they're cool. And okay, so yeah, I won't even say that, but this Joshua name that Parker gave me, I'm not biting on that. I'm not biting on that, and that's not the direction I want to go into re-hacking somebody and whatever. Not at this point. And another one at the top corner is how I can't, like, my home isn't my private home. I can't use any of my devices. I have to avoid my mom. Don't know how to get off of it, whatever. And then I got Bo saying, "Are you just tired of being a good girl?" No, I'm not gonna sit in my fucking quiet room with not using. Like, I'm. That's how we get here to fucking rambling for 4 fucking hours, man. And like I said, possibly my grandparents, and it has to be my sister's friends at least. But then going back to that, like I said, he might have a specifically dedicated Austin phone. Like, who the fuck knows at this point? And with him, who knows? But there's no fucking way that shit was cleared unless he had a heads up. And he only had a fucking 10-minute heads up. So it can only be so many fucking options, But I don't even care. Like I said, I wanted to just confront the dude. So that's why I'm here doing this. I wouldn't have had to do this if I could have went there and confronted him. I couldn't have went there and confronted him without a police escort for both of our fucking things. So here we are. Because I can't use my devices and my home isn't my home, there are quite a few different reasons why I think there's still a fucking camera in there somewhere. I'm pretty confident that there is, actually. And I'm pretty confident that I probably entombed it into my fucking wall with plaster, fixing the holes. So I don't know what the fuck to do about that. It's like I can't even get myself to look, because if I look and don't find it, like I said, I'm not convinced, I'm not whatever, I'm just I'm pretty confident that there's still one there. And I've seen a post directly telling me that. I liked it like last weekend or something. But there's multiple reasons why I think that. But so then that's why I'm saying, for one, I got this on my head. To the supporters, it's like I got this on my head to even think about whether there is or isn't. And then to the haters or whatever, the other side of it, telling me to just get out and just leave us alone type shit. It's like, you would not. Leaving my job was cutting off a big chunk of it. Now that's 40 hours a week of privacy that I just bought myself, and it leads to the opportunity to go somewhere where I at least have time to get it fucking established there before it becomes, and I should be the one to have the information to tell other people, not other people, because Parker, who I know was infiltrated, he's cute and all, but he's dumb. He's very obvious. Off the cuff, all randomly, this is the type of shit I gotta combat. Not only do I have to combat real shit that's being watched and whatever, but he tells me, he's like, "Hey, do you know that people watch octopus porn? Like, no, like full, like putting octopus tentacles like in their pussy and stuff." And I'm sitting there like, because this is obvious, this was after he had become so obvious about it. Which wasn't the entire time, but whatever. I was just like, are you, because there was shit that the dude said that I was hooking up with, like heroin and whatnot. So much of it is true, and then so much of it is like, what the fuck? Like, do you, like that fucking unicorn post that I shared around New Year's. Sometimes I dress up as a unicorn and slide around my kitchen floor or whatever. And with the shit that I watch you actively just completely make up and distort and whatnot. Like, you really got people that out here thinking I watch fucking octopus porn. And I gotta combat that indirectly. Like, I did just that, the indirect coded fucking shit happens so much in so many different ways. And it's just like frustrating as fuck. For one, and then for two, I find myself like, people be saying the most off the wall fucking shit to me that can't be anything but. And it's like, now I gotta sit here and defend this but I also have to defend it with you telling it to me like indirectly and coded. So I can't just flat out, because of the whole stupid or crazy thing, you know. I can't just flat out tell Parker I don't watch octopus porn. But at this point, it's like, what if I don't care if people think that I fucking do. Like, and the whole porn thing, that gets, that and now hooking up, of course, like everything just gets taken and ran with, but I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm a whole fucking STD hoe. I was at one point. Never had an STD ever in my life. I never once had an STD. But I've been a whole hoe before. Like, I'm not a whole hoe at 27 years old and have no interest in being, but if you want to think I am, think I am. I don't care. I'm not defending petty shit like that. If you want to think I have an STD, then don't fuck. You know, like, if you think I want to watch octopus porn, fine, I do. Sure. Like, I got bigger real and fake shit to, like, defend and fucking whatever than fucking octopus porn and being a hoe. Like, that shit, I'm just, you know, whatever. But, yeah, I could just, like I said, quitting my job, it cuts 40 hours a week out of very extensive access and involvement and shit. So, yeah, I could now begin to fade out of Cameroon, but the problem with that is that would be me sitting in my dark fucking room. I don't know how to get you off my mom's cameras. I don't know how you get, I don't know. I need to know. To get out of it, I need to know. And that's not for Devin and Bo and Colin. They're not going to give me that, fucking obviously. But there are people who should. There are people who should have, and there are people who should, and now it's like somebody needs to. And there's people out there who, because I'm doing fine, like I really am, like working on my video, working on my house, you know, work was its own thing, but like, that's what I'm saying. You sit here and talk about how everybody is like, I keep myself here. And it's like, no, I don't know how to get myself out of here. That's what I've been trying to fucking tell everybody. And it's not even real, according to everybody else. The only person who's really, truly accepted this and understood it for what it is Kaylee. And we can't, like, you know, that's a whole other thing. But everybody else just looks at me like I'm fucking crazy while lying, while having awareness. And then I get this shit, like, people, love you, girl, love you, but praying for me and shit, and these fucking memes. Like I told Jessica in December, she said, you know, Jessica coming at me with this cheesy shit. I'm not gonna let this hold me back. Come on, Stan. You coming with me? I'm not gonna let this hold me back. Of course it's not gonna hold you back, bitch. And she said something about, you know, just whatever. And I'm like, well, the fucking truth would have shaved about 6 months off. Now, this could be done. Or it could be a whole different thing. A whole different thing. But everybody just, you know, I don't know. Meanwhile, I sitting here constantly doing shit like this. Less motivated to now. Because I want to just work on my fucking video and work on my fucking house. And fucking, like, do the shit that the people who supposedly support me want me to be doing, and do the shit that the people who hate me are hating on me for not doing. You know? I don't fucking... And like I said, it's still on the list, talk shit about myself, and then even further down the list about, you know, fucking, shit, like I'm so hot and I'm so smart and I'm so cute, you know. I want to elaborate on how fucking dumb that is too, but it's, we'll get there. But I don't know if I talked about the skit thing. I know that I skipped over it at first. I know I mentioned it again. I don't know if I went deep into it. But it could be not fucking 4-hour rambles about this real heavy shit. I could be a CY Poncho. I was a CY Poncho. Like, I was intentionally being a CY Poncho. You didn't have to make CY Poncho. I was CY Poncho and knew what I was doing. Nevin, you talk about, he makes me laugh when he ever drops a comedy skit. These could be comedy skits. This doesn't have to be that, man. And now it's like, what the fuck? Then you get mad. You specifically, Nevin, gets mad when it's drama, when it's not fun, when it's not, like, whatever. Talk to your fucking friend. Because it could be. And then you did this bullshit, everybody, and me being in love with Bo and blah, 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 blah. Like I said when he was like, what you read when you read Queen Elizabeth is dead, that's what we wish too. Bo. I almost don't even want to, like, go here, but it's like, dude, my involvement and this stands for everybody at this point. In whatever context you want to take it as or whatever. My involvement in your life is your involvement in my life. So people need to stop acting like I just need to go. If I was posting this shit, I will be this time, but if I was you haven't seen me on social media in a fucking year, then you act like this is live. It's always I go live. I'm live 24/7. That's the only reason that we're here. If I was doing this actually on Facebook all the time, this is an unnatural thing to sit here and, like, respond to this shit in my fucking videos and, record videos and whatnot and talk to my fucking phone as if people are listening, because I know that people are. That's this is something that infuriates me, and I don't know if it's another thing tying onto this that equally frustrates me is these accounts that are supposed to be like Kits and CY Poncho and stuff. People talk to those accounts as if it's actually me running those. The distortions between me and these characters that are supposed to represent me are it's so weird to me, because it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like people will take CY Poncho shit, takes like things that I say and runs with it into these. I love CY Poncho. I really, really do love CY Poncho. And I know that to some extent that's a real person. Him and Deli Sings specifically. Deli Sings speaking directly to me on a live stream because I took a shower. What is going on there? Deli Sings. And that's obviously a real person. Why is she going live on a stream to speak directly to me, coded and indirectly, but directly responsive about me taking a fucking shower? I mean, what the fuck? But, like Kits, Kits will get on there and say I saw there was this one status, I don't know if it was somebody else arguing with Devin and Paige, or if it was supposed to be me talking about Devin and Paige, but on a fake Facebook profile, and it had so much engagement, and it was real life, as if it was somebody really talking about Devin and Paige. I don't know if it was supposed to be me or not. And I commented on it. I'm just like, huh? Like, this is not. I've been saying this shit this is not me, you guys, right? Like, you do realize this, because I don't know. Who knows anymore? Who fucking knows anymore, dude? What other, like, a Kits, like, whatever Kits says is whatever Austin says now. Like, those lines are indistinguishable to some people, it seems like. And it's like, I thought that Kits was supposed to mock me, which is its own thing. But then to take Kits as if it was what is me running Kits, and to apply that to Austin. And then everybody wonders why everything's so fucking fucked up and crazy and shit. For me and for this situation. And obviously this is nothing, this isn't drama for anybody else, because I don't, you know, maybe to a fault, haven't made it drama for anybody else. I haven't made it real for anybody else. But it's fucking obviously, like, you know, don't make it drama for me, and it won't be drama. It can be entertainment. But then you know, black money is fucking fire, and everybody knows it. Black money is fucking fire, and everybody knows it. And I'm just sitting here like, this is the same amount of like work and shit and everything that I put into all my other videos. But I almost damn near don't even want to upload that now. I'm almost dead set on not. And I have like a whole plan on how, like, I don't even have to post shit on Facebook, clearly. But I could just upload it on YouTube, and with that get so much fucking clout. But it's like, that's not, I damn near just want that to be lore on my fucking live stream that I don't know about, to just not upload Black Money and to not fucking run with that, you know, just because, you know, Colin, he says you want to chase clout. I'm being chased by the clout, buddy. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, and then that's fucked up, what I actually put work into and what I actually want to do and blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, oh, no. You don't got, no. No, this is mine. You know, this is private, wink. Like, at my own expense, obviously. But it's like, I mean, that is kind of like, I was dead set on that yesterday, and then now, of course, I want to go work on it again, and I want to work on part 2 and part 3, and I want to start working on Senile, which is in the notes. Like, I just, like, and this is, where is this in the notes? Zuber. We'll get to that, Zuber and Colin and whatnot. And this concept of competition from multiple different people.